Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Muffed Podcast. My name is Boaz, and across from me is...
Lemeter.
Why are you still down today?
Alright, Lemeter. Hey, can I whistle the intro song today?
No, we're not doing that. No Tanuk, no whistling.
No.
Alright, man, let's cue this. Let's go.
It's not how it's done, at least not for me. Cause I need my freedom like I need my air to breathe. And I need a renegotiation. And we need to figure out a way to love like we did before.
Alright, so as you guys know, week 1 is starting this week.
Yeah, I'm excited. Football time.
So the first game, very interesting game to say the least. NFC North duel between two longtime rivals.
Yeah.
Green Bay and Chicago. The Packers versus the Bears. Yeah, that's about it.
It's going to be an entertaining game, man. You got to see
Yeah.
Khalil Mack. Last game, it was crazy what he was doing. And you had that whole Aaron Rodgers comeback and Deshaun Kaiser, all that sort of thing. Yeah.
The first game last season, dude, that made me love Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
A-Rod.
That's an OG Aaron Rodgers move right there. But also, you got to see Matt LaFleur, and, is he going to pan out? Is he going to be, I don't know, he was just given a position just because of his relationship to Sean McVay, or is he going to be the next Sean McVay?
Yeah. I definitely feel like I'm trending towards the next Sean McVay, even though Kyle Shanahan's better.
I don't know.
But I do feel like LaFleur brings a very interesting skill set to the table, especially with his offensive coordinator being Nathaniel Hackett, the former Jacksonville Jaguars offensive coordinator when they went to the AFC Championship game. When Blake Bortles was actually doing decent, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he wasn't actually throwing games away. He was, So I think that they bring.
That means running game should be good.
Yeah, they bring two very contrasting ideas, and I think they can make a good offense out of that. I think this game has extra significance because it's LaFleur versus Nagy, two young offensive coaches, offensive minds. Who do you think's better? That's what it boils down to, literally.
Well, obviously, I don't know. How can you say Nagy's worse? Nagy's actually proven something. But LaFleur is his first time as a head coach. But I think Nagy's got the better football team too. If you're thinking overall, the Packers defense just isn't. They're always riddled with injuries, and they're not really what they used to be.
Yeah, but I think the Packers defense has largely improved this year. They've gotten some good additions on defense, and Darius Smith comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very fantastic pass rusher and limited opportunities too. I think he got 10 or 7 or 8 sacks in very few snaps last year with the Ravens.
Baltimore. Yeah, he's been an up and coming guy. But also, you can't, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. You can't rule them out, especially Rodgers. Rodgers is gonna come in the clutch.
Even with the worst team, he's
Rodgers can make him. Yeah.
Yeah, he can make him dance.
I'm excited to see the chemistry. Maybe the chemistry between LaFleur and Rodgers, because last year you didn't really see with McCarthy and Rodgers.
I think it was falling apart.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Rodgers can catch this Chicago defense in that transition phase where they're going from the very well-known Vic Fangio defense to the Chuck Pagano defense.
That is true.
Do you think there will be a fall down?
I think so. I think the Packers are going to start off running. So if the Bears can stop it, I think the Bears will win. But if they can run over them in the beginning, and then that will lead to the pass. That's how it always works. Yeah. Run leads to the pass. And their secondary, the Bears secondary, they have Eddie Jackson. They have Fuller. He's not bad.
Kyle Fuller, yeah.
Yeah.
But they lost Adrian Amos to the
Packers.
Yeah,
to the Packers. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I think honestly, it's really riding on Aaron Jones. Will he come out? A lot of the fantasy guys are really excited about Aaron Jones. But will Aaron Jones be as good as promised? And I think if Aaron Jones can deliver, then I think Aaron Rodgers, he's got the tools set up to win.
Yeah. I think, the Pagano defense will be a little slower than the Fangio defense because, in my personal opinion, Vic Fangio is a great defensive coach. If you look at his past two teams,
with the Niners,
Chicago and San Francisco.
Well, Niners, he was a while back.
Yeah, both very tough, great teams, in my opinion. Even in the past couple of years when Chicago wasn't good, he was their defensive coordinator, and I think he's been a good one. But I don't think Pagano's as good as him, so they won't be as good on defense, and I think Aaron Rodgers is one guy to exploit that.
But at the same time, with Khalil Mack, I don't think he needs that much coaching, man. He can wreck. You send him blitzing, man. It's Rodgers. The clock is gonna be ticking real fast.
Rodgers is good at that.
He is, yeah.
He is under pressure. That's Rodgers' main thing.
This is him. Yeah.
I personally feel like Rodgers could keep the score up. Does Trubisky match him?
I don't think so. I think Trubisky is a little overhyped. You know, people view him as maybe like a Mahomes type season.
Yeah.
Maybe he's gonna come back and he's gonna be, and he does good. But I think it's a lot about the scheme than really his talent.
They run a similar scheme, but like the talent
Obviously,
on
Aaron
the
Rodgers
team
is
around the talent around Trubisky
Chicago?
is inferior. Tariq Cohen's a great weapon. I just don't.
I'm gonna go on a hot
don't
take.
trust
I think Jordan Howard was a mistake letting him go. I really like how he played before, and I get he didn't work out the first year with Matt Nagy, and they got David Montgomery now. So maybe I'm wrong about
I'm
this.
a big guy, big David.
I do like David
guy.
Montgomery a lot, but I think Jordan Howard was talented, and they kind of let him go a little too fast. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what this offense is gonna be like.
Yeah, the receivers, Allen Robinson, after tearing that ACL, he hasn't been quite the Allen Robinson of the old.
That is true, yeah.
So I don't know how Trubisky makes that leap, but
Trey Burton's supposed to be
Yeah.
right. He's the game time decision as well, from what I heard. Yeah, so he's a big time guy on the team. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I think it's a toss up. It's gonna be one early in the game, I think.
Yeah, so one cool thing I wanted to do today is we look at each position group from both teams and compare them and then make our final prediction on that, based on that. So let's start with quarterback. I think Packers
Rodgers,
win that
yeah,
one,
you
1-0. Running backs, this is a toss-up. Cohen and Montgomery.
Aaron
versus
Jones is better.
Aaron
And
Jones
Jamal
and
Williams.
Jamal Williams
Yeah.
is a compliment. I think, I'd give it to Packers.
Packers,
2-0. The offensive line, Packers have David Bakhtiari.
Yeah, Chicago's got a white hair. What's his name, right?
Yeah, but I'm a bit skeptical about that offensive line.
Chicago's it's not a bad offensive line. I think it's a raw offensive line, but I don't know.
I'd give it to the Packers.
I'll give it. I'll let you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll let you
Packers.
choose.
Okay.
Okay, Packers.
3-0.
What about the fullback? We're doing fullbacks.
Fullbacks. Sorry, Kyle Juszczyk.
No love for the fullbacks, man.
No, but I don't really know.
No, I feel
fullbacks
you.
on
I
the
got
team.
you. Yeah.
So let's go to
Receivers.
I think Packers take it with Devontae Adams and Valdez Scantling and Geronimo Allison.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I
so
do like the
think-
receiver core. Yeah.
It's a good receiver room.
Tight end.
Tight end. That's where Chicago wins it. Trey Burton.
I think so,
is
too.
better than Jimmy Graham.
I think Trey Burton's gonna have. Well, Jimmy Graham's always had the better career so far, but I think Trey Burton. Last year he wasn't just utilized as much as he could be. I think he's gonna be utilized a lot more, and if he plays, then I think he's gonna be a guy a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I do agree with that. So that is 4-1, I want to say.
I think so.
4-1
Yeah.
Packers right now.
Yeah.
So let's go to defensive line. That's probably Chicago.
Yeah, Khalil Mack kind of trumps that. And really, honestly, you
Yeah.
compare him to anybody, maybe Aaron Donald would be the one guy that I'd say that Aaron Donald beats him.
Linebackers, Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I'd probably say that.
Probably
Blake
Chicago.
Martinez is one of those guys. You know, he gets a lot of tackles and people talk about him, but I don't think he's really any good.
I think Roquan's better, personally speaking.
Yeah, Roquan's been good.
Yeah, and then so that's 4-3 now.
Yeah.
And then you look at cornerbacks. I think I'd give it to the not the Packers, Bears again.
Yeah. The Packers spent a first round and a second round last year on the Alexander.
Yeah,
right?
Jair Alexander.
Yeah, and
but
then,
he hasn't quite panned out like Will Fuller has.
And what's his name?
Not
Judge
Will
Jackson
Fuller.
too, right from Iowa.
Kyle
Fuller, yeah.
Will Fuller. Who's Will Fuller? Oh, the receiver.
As you can tell, we're not exactly Packers or Bears fans.
But we do have some.
I think we have an opinion. Yeah, we have an opinion on this. And
safeties, I think that's a good toss-up because Adrian Amos is now on the Packers.
what about Eddie Jackson? Eddie Jackson's good.
Eddie Jackson, but who does take over for Adrian Amos in Chicago? Do you have an idea?
I don't really know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know the roster that well.
Okay,
to
so we'll
really
give that
say
a tie.
anything.
So they're 5-5. Special teams. Sorry, Chicago. Double doink. I believe the Packers.
If you're going kicker, yeah. They've had a
kicker,
problem,
punter,
yeah. Crosby's consistent, yeah.
Packers are a lot more stable in that regard.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, so that says the Packers are the better bet.
The Packers, I think, they're a more talented team overall, but I think the Bears, they're concentrated very much on the defense.
Yeah.
And in their offensive weapons, you don't know. Maybe Allen
Underrated
Robinson
offense.
bounces back and he has a good year.
It's an underrated offense.
Hey, man, it was just 2 years ago we were hoping that Allen Robinson would come to the Niners, so...
That didn't happen, Snake. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see. Yeah, there's really no way to be for sure certain about it, but I think it's gonna be an interesting matchup. It's definitely not one of those that I think you can predict right away.
Yeah, who are your possible fantasy studs this
Just year in general, or on the team
this game?
This game, I just mentioned Aaron Jones. I think if he can avoid Khalil Mack's side, whichever side Khalil Mack's gonna be rushing from, I think he's gonna have a good game.
Yeah.
And
I think Montgomery might too. David Montgomery, the running back for Chicago.
I just it's been speculation how they're gonna be used. You don't really know how he's gonna. Maybe they're into. People are saying I don't think Tariq Cohen's gonna get that many rushes, but maybe they say, hey, Tariq Cohen's gonna be the rushing guy.
I don't know. I have Montgomery on my team, so.
I got you. I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so-
Devontae Adams obviously is gonna be. He's a obvious. He could be. There's an argument for him being wide receiver number 1 over DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, so if Burton plays, I think he could be a stud too. But Chicago defense, I don't trust them against Aaron Rodgers personally. So I think it's the 4 guys we mentioned: Devontae Adams,
Aaron Rodgers,
Aaron
yeah.
Jones,
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers is a given.
Yeah.
David Montgomery and Trey Burton. I think those are the guys you want to look
Yeah.
out for this week. I wouldn't say you don't want to start Tariq Cohen or any other guys like Allen Robinson.
They're
These
Alshon
guys are
Jeffrey.
safe. Alshon
Oh, no,
Jeffrey,
yeah.
Philly.
Philly,
But,
my bad.
These guys are safer bets. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to another preview. But this, I think, will be better in this preview.
Yeah.
Well versed in the 49ers. So
I think we're definitely more
versus the
comfortable now.
Buccaneers.
Storm game, yeah. We're gonna be playing just Heat and
92
Storm.
degrees, yeah. I feel you.
I think this is gonna be a real game. Though it will show you if Jimmy Garoppolo is really like what his paycheck says he is, and what the media has hyped him up to be.
Yeah, I do believe Jimmy has it in him, but
You're a big Jimmy guy, yeah.
He has to prove himself.
I think this is the game because
Yeah.
the conditions that are the storyline's perfect for Jimmy
Yeah.
Garoppolo to come out. If he balls out right now,
Mahomes type game, all of a sudden
would be,
Jimmy Garoppolo back in the MVP conversation.
but I think what the Niners lack is really a power runner. They have a lot of these zone guys.
Yeah.
So how would that work in this type of condition? So if Tampa Bay figures out how to stop the zone run, we're honestly kind of screwed. I don't see them being like Alfred Morris last year was kind of a power guy. And I just don't see the Niners how they're going to deal with that. Maybe use check up the middle. I don't know.
No, I think Breida could have that. Breida is powerful guy if you look.
He is, but
Breida and Coleman both are like power packed guys. I think if needed, McKinnon was the one exception. I thought he couldn't run the power game, but like these 2 guys, I think they could execute the power run decently. Breida especially.
Breida just hasn't shown to be healthy.
Breida.
Yeah,
but he is a.
So I don't know.
Really talented
Do you think
guy.
Shanahan would take that risk, like put him up in the middle against week 1? Come on, you want to keep him for the full season.
No, I think Shanahan does. Shanahan's not one to hold back his players.
That is true.
He doesn't look in. He does think of the long term, but he doesn't sacrifice
That is true.
the present for the future.
But just like I talk about with the Packers, Shanahan's offense is very much about they're going to start the zone run, and then with the zone run, they're going to do the bootleg, the play action bootlegs. So if the zone runs aren't working, then the play action bootleg kind of becomes useless because they're going to predict it.
I think, but that's where the advantage of Jimmy comes in. Nick Mullins is very good at executing the game plan, play action, what Shanahan wants. Jimmy, I think he has the skill set to produce from the shotgun. He can make things happen from anywhere.
But I'd be scared if he starts scrambling. I don't want that happening.
I'm not saying he has to scramble. I'm just saying if the play action's not working, you line up Jimmy in the shotgun, then you find Dante Pettis with a great route running over the middle, or some guys like Kittle. Yeah, Kittle definitely. He's a great player. So, yeah, Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marquise Goodwin, love you, buddy.
It's a guy, yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
What about, what's your opinion on Tebow Samuel? I saw that on the unofficial depth chart. He's third string.
I don't... So, I think he's second string, personally. I think he's going to be third
that's what the unofficial.
I think they play with 5 active receivers, them being Dante, Keese, Debo, Kendrick Bourne, and Richie James, because the other 2 are injured.
Jalen Hurd's injured,
Hurd and Taylor are injured. Hurd is, I think he aggravated his injury or something happened. They ruled him from day to day to week now, so that could be something to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I think Jimmy, that's where the Jimmy advantage comes in. If the things aren't going the way you want them to go, that's where Jimmy's pure talent.
Let's play devil's advocate. What do you see? I don't know. How do you see Tampa Bay winning?
James Winston going off on the vertical game.
So you don't think there's any way the Tampa Bay defense could stop 49ers?
No.
They are,
Tampa's defense is their weakness, in my opinion.
That is true,
And 49ers offense is our identity, in my opinion, because it's Shanahan. Shanahan offenses are usually the team's identity, especially with the D-line coming together, but I still think the identity is the offense.
But also, we saw last year Jimmy was kind of rough in the first 2 games. So I don't know, maybe this game he hasn't put it together yet. Maybe he's still going to be a little rougher on the edges. I could see maybe him throwing a couple picks and the Tampa Bay but that's just me being devil's advocate. I don't think it's going to happen, but I could definitely see him throwing a couple picks. I don't know, pick 6, giving them some points on the defense.
I think last year, the second game, Jimmy wasn't really rusty, in my opinion.
Detroit one?
Yeah. The Minnesota one,
he was rusty.
But Minnesota had a damn good
But Kansas
defense.
City, he pulled it together. Kansas City did pull it.
Minnesota does have a damn good defense,
They
even
do,
though they underperformed. And it was at Minnesota, and Jimmy was coming off this incredible 5-0 run, so he didn't know how to prepare for that. Pressure was on. So I think he's better prepared for it. He's battling adversity from the beginning this year, so I think that's where it helps him out, and I think he takes care of the ball better. He knows what's on the line now because this is his job. If he doesn't perform, I think Shanahan's a ruthless guy, and he knows when to pull the plug.
Yeah, especially with the Kirk Cousins rumors you heard all offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's definitely. There's no way that he didn't hear that.
Yeah, the team does like Nick Mullins too. I think
that is true.
They
Yeah,
have
yeah.
Nick Mullins breathing down his neck.
CJ Beathard's. I feel. I don't know.
He's a competent backup.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
he is.
Yeah,
but I think Shanahan's been holding on to him for a little too long. I think it's time to just bury the.
I'm a CJ guy myself.
I like CJ too. For his first year when he's subbed in for Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, He battled to the end.
He does. He's a strong guy. Yeah. But I don't know. I just don't think the Niners should have cut some of the guys they did, just to keep CJ Beathard.
Yeah, I think they could have kept an extra D lineman in DeMontre Moore.
Yeah, DeMontre Moore was good.
Jeff Wilson could have been on the team. An extra offensive lineman.
Jeff Wilson was a surprise cut. I didn't see that coming.
No, but I think the 49ers, as us fans, I think we value our players a lot more than they are actually in the open.
He just had a monster Week 4 game.
Yeah, so I think Jeff Wilson definitely a great player, but I think the front office knew that he might not get picked up, so that's why they decided to, play the risk and get him on the practice squad. I think they might drop one of the 4 tight ends as
they got a lot.
The group gets healthier, or drop one of the receivers as the 2 guys get healthy. So I think that's
you think they're going to shave off even more receivers after Jordan Matthews?
7. They have 7 and 4 tight ends.
That is true.
Usually teams keep 6 and 3, so they have 2 excess offensive weapons on there, and
it's going to be interesting. Yeah,
they could add an extra linebacker.
It's definitely going to be an interesting game.
5.
What do you think about Peyton Barber being named the starter for Tampa Bay?
Personally, I don't think either one of their running backs is good, except
Ronald Jones is not bad from USC.
He hasn't had a very...
That is true, but he was also injured a lot last year, so he didn't play that much.
Yeah, but I expected a lot more from him last year, and he hasn't played to his strength.
Hey, Bruce Arians might, bring something out of him. He brought out David Johnson.
I think if the Buccaneers want a chance to win, it's on Jameis. Jameis is a good player, in my opinion.
It's a contract year, right?
Contract year. Yeah. He has to battle. He's in a very similar situation to Marcus Mariota, Jimmy Garoppolo, where they have to battle for their spots now. Nothing's served on a plate for them. They have to go out there and make it happen.
That is true. But it's also kind of, maybe if his place isn't even in Tampa Bay, he's got a kind of audition right now for other teams. Yeah. He's got to show them that he's not the guy who, throws interceptions and makes bad decisions, that he was in college and now he is in the NFL. And you got to show, you're a franchise quarterback, that, you were drafted number 1 overall for a reason.
He definitely has a talent.
He has talent, but he needs to put it together. It's been a while.
Arians is a good coach, and I think he could bring out the best in, what's his name? Jameis. Yeah. So I think Jameis is their best bet.
I think so too. He's talented. I think Mike Evans is really the best bet. Like Mike Evans has a big radius. He's kind of like Julio Jones in that matter. Yeah. Jameis Winston could have a bad game, and they could still win if Mike Evans just balls out. Also, you can't forget Chris Godwin too.
Yeah. The only thing that concerns me about Jameis is if Nick Bosa is indeed healthy, as the reports are saying, is indeed going to play Week 1. That's going to be a tough day for Jameis. Their offensive line is nothing to write home about, probably one of the worst in the league. And if Jameis is on his back, he can't throw.
That is true, yeah.
Because you got 4 supremely talented D linemen, D Ford, Nick Bosa, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, and Solomon Thomas. Yeah. And some good depth in that position group.
They do, yeah.
I think Jameis will need to have a good offensive line.
He needs to throw. He needs to do fast throws. He needs to get through his reads fast, but he hasn't done much.
He needs to have the Jimmy Garoppolo type release if he wants to get.
No, I think the big knock on him that he holds onto the ball for too long, which is Jimmy's problem too, and his decision making has been a little. So if you put the pressure on him and he starts making bad decisions, that could be a recipe for some interceptions. Which last year we didn't see too many of those.
Yep. So again, I was gonna do the point by point breakdown.
Yeah.
But I do think the 49ers are the clear favorites here, in my opinion.
I think you're right. I'd probably say the 49ers are probably the clear favorite. The only thing I could see is maybe because Tampa Bay's been in that weather with this whole storm for a little longer, obviously longer than the 49ers are. They're more acclimated to it, and the 49ers players maybe they're thrown off a little bit. Yeah. The one I can see is Jimmy, maybe his release being thrown off by the ball being wet or the heat and everything like that.
It's gonna be humid in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be
hot and humid.
Yeah. So if the weather throws them off, I could see them having the home field advantage really playing a part.
Yeah, I think, but the 49ers are preparing for the weather. I think they set up tents at practice today. With humid conditions inside. And
that makes sense.
Put Jimmy in there to test out how the release is, and I think Jimmy could be a sleeper fantasy pick for this game.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I think Jimmy's not a guy you'd take in fantasy yet. I think you got to see what the usage is. Honestly, that's what a lot of these are like fringe players. You got to see what's gonna happen. So I wouldn't. I'll say like a late round flyer maybe on Jimmy, but starting him I don't see him like unless you're in a really deep league. I just don't see the reason to do that. But I think I don't know. I still wouldn't do it just because I think it's gonna be a running type game. You see a lot of the times in the snow and when it's wet conditions, you don't want to throw the ball because it's harder to release, it's harder to catch, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but this is hot and like I don't think they're gonna run the ball as much or play as as run the rock type of offense because it's going to be hot and players are going to get tired easier. So if you have your offensive line running up and down, they're going to, down the stretch, they're going to play worse.
Okay, I think they got to start off with the running. They got to start off with the running.
They start off with the running, but I think it's going to be more passing than running in this game.
I don't know.
Arians is a passing guy.
He is,
Shanahan is a passing guy.
Shanahan's a zone run, play action type of guy.
Yeah, so I think both of them, it's going to be a good game, but I think the 49ers win by a bit.
Yeah, it's going to be close, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's two teams and maybe a few players off from maybe making the playoffs. I think the 49ers just because of the division, what's going on, because a lot of teams are in decline, especially like Arizona's they've fallen off, and Seattle's kind of in the decline, even with the Jadeveon Clowney trade. Yeah. I still think the Niners have a chance to make the playoffs just because of the division. Yeah. But I don't see Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I don't see them this year. But you see there's some talent in the team. Jameis pulls it together.
I thought they could make a run last year, honestly speaking. They finished 9-7.
They're really hyped up, yeah.
Then they fell flat on their face.
It's the expectations, Jameis just never has been able to do that,
Yeah. So if you guys have any games you want us to preview for next week,
comment,
shout us out on Twitter and
Twitter, comment on this, wherever you're listening, you probably comment it. Put it on Twitter, Instagram. Just hit us up.
That'd be all for our previews for this week, and now let's move on to seasonal. Who do you think is going to win the awards this season?
MVP? I don't know, man.
You want to start
MVP? What do you want to start with?
Let's start off at Offensive Player of the Year.
Offensive Player of the Year. Saquon Barkley.
That's
what I'm saying. I think the whole storyline right now is about the quarterback with Eli Manning and Daniel Jones, and that whole thing is going on. And Saquon Barkley is the number 1 overall pick, so like you're already saying it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little like it's anticipated that he's gonna be good. But I think the whole story, like you're gonna see a lot of stacked boxes, and I think Saquon's gonna show off even more of a skill. So if he can stay healthy and he can get the yardage, I think he's gonna be good.
I'm gonna say Christian McCaffrey.
That's your guy, right?
Yeah. Personally, I think Cam's arm is gonna be okay. But I think McCaffrey's going to be the reason if they make a run in the playoffs or get to the playoffs. McCaffrey's going to be the sole reason why. He's literally going to carry that. Like Cam carried them in 2016, I want to say?
Yeah.
2015. In the Super Bowl 50 year, I think McCaffrey's going to carry them that same way.
Yeah, I could see that, but I think a lot of the time, a lot of these awards you see with NBA and then I think NFL as well, it's a storyline. You kind of have to build a story. And I think you got to get the voters attached to the story. And I don't see Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers really being like a storyline media type team. Saquon Barkley is always going to get it. New York is always going to be in their spotlight. And New York players will always be kind of viewed higher as other players because it's just a big franchise. It's a big city.
Yeah, I think Baker would be my sleeper pick personally.
Yeah, I can see that. If the Browns offense or the Browns team altogether is just what they're advertised to be. Yeah.
They have a good story this year, as you said.
They do, yeah. They're the whole franchise, man. If Baker brings them back, that's what he said in this combine. Remember in the interview, they asked him and he said he wants to bring the franchise back. He's sick and tired of them losing. He wasn't scared. All the other players, they were saying they didn't want to go to the Browns. He wasn't scared of the curse.
Yeah. Defensive Player of the Year. I personally think DeForest Buckner.
DeForest Buckner's a sleeper.
I'm not gonna lie.
But I'm gonna just to be different. I'll say Khalil Mack. I think I think he was a little upset that Aaron Donald won it over him. I think maybe he comes out. he's maybe sets a record.
Yeah, but I think DeForest Buckner has such a like last year he was getting double team.
That is true.
Team,
yeah,
still got 12 sacks.
that is
this
yeah.
year he has 3 demons next to him, or at least 2. D Ford and Nick Bosa. They play as good as advertised, and Eric Armstead does play like he played last year. He was very underrated.
But I think it matters how the team does. If the team's the playoff team, I totally see that. But if we go once again go like 6-10 or something like that, you're not getting the media attention. It's all about that. You got to see a team that's going to be good. So a lot of the times you get these players who are on good teams. Like if your team is bad and you're good, it's gonna be hard. You're fighting an obstacle, to win the award.
Yeah, but the thing is, I could totally see Buckner having the Aaron Donald type of year. Although he's not as talented as Donald.
Well, he could, but like you saw last year with Fletcher Cox. Yeah. Buckner arguably was better than Fletcher Cox, but just because Cox is on a better team, he's on the Eagles. You get more attention. He's always gonna get the priority over him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And comeback player of the year, I'm gonna be a homer again. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo would be a good story. Honestly, I don't know. Comeback player of the year.
He's very likable too, Jimmy. He has the good looks, is the nice guy.
I'd say, I'll go for Quan Alexander. Comeback player. That could be interesting. Hey, if he balls out this year and he does what he does what the 49ers paid him to do, maybe he could be good. I don't know. Do you know anybody else who do you think?
Well, Carson Wentz is definitely up there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Carson Wentz, then Geis. He's like a rookie, but
that is true.
If he does make a good comeback, I think Geis
could be. Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell, you think Le'Veon?
Bell, oh yeah, Le'Veon Bell is definitely in the running.
But do you think he's really come back? Do you think the NFL will want to give him an award because his whole situation was kind of anti NFL? He was holding out.
But I think that does make the NFL look better if they give the award to Le'Veon Bell because he definitely did the right thing in my opinion. If he's not getting the money, he's risking injury. And if he gets injured for a running back, that's basically the death sentence.
That is true, yeah. And you see a lot of guys, Ezekiel Elliott this year and Melvin Gordon, they're following that.
It's the right thing to do.
He set a new trend, yeah.
If they get injured, like, see what happened to Todd Gurley. If Todd Gurley hadn't gotten that contract before, his career would be over. He'd not make that big money contract.
But I think Todd Gurley's injury is a little over-exaggerated. Like, just because he didn't really play that much in the Super Bowl doesn't mean that he's completely fallen off.
But did he have tendinitis or arthritis?
Tendinitis, I think, right, with the knee.
I think it was arthritis.
I don't know. I still don't. I think people are especially. I see him in fantasy football going to second round. Some people third round. Some like leagues third round. It's ridiculous. Todd Gurley is he's gonna be a top 5 running back, and I think Darrell Henderson he didn't do much in the preseason. He was kind of bad in the preseason. So I don't see people saying that he's gonna have a bigger role than what we think.
Okay, what about defensive rookie of the year?
I know you're probably gonna say Nick Bosa.
I'm not. I've made too many homer picks today, so I'll go with someone else. But I do feel like Nicky B is gonna be in the running throughout the entire season. He's gonna be the dick of the race.
I'm gonna go. I like the Carolina Panthers, so they get Burns, right?
Yeah, Brian Burns. I'm a big fan.
I like him. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. Also, not bad is Tampa Bay is getting the Devin White, the new guy that they got. I could think about that. I could see that.
I was gonna go Devin Bush with the
Steelers.
Yeah.
That'd be a good story, especially with the Shazier injury.
Yeah. He plays as good as Shazier. Shazier was a beast when he played.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he fills that void perfectly. And I think that's where it goes.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of possibility. I don't know. If Nick Bosa, especially if he's going to be injured, if he doesn't play the first game, and then especially since he's going to be a rotational piece, he's not going to be like a every down kind of a defensive end.
If he plays 16 games, I think he's definitely going to be up there.
Yeah, but it's all about the numbers for these ones. It's not as much about story, it's about numbers and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Offensive rookie of the year?
I don't think it's Kyler Murray. Are you going to say Kyler Murray?
Debo.
Nah, I don't think about Debo. I'm going to say Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
Good story.
I do, he's got a good story. I like him as a player. He's a good fit on Oakland. You were kind of concerned with Doug Martin being there, and he got cut. So, or he's on IR, excuse me.
Really?
Was he cut or on IR? He's not. He's not.
I thought he got cut. He's not on the 50.
He's not. Yeah, he's not going to be competing with Josh Jacobs. So it's just him and Jalen Richard, and I think Jalen Richard is he's a catching guy. I don't think he's going to be getting that many carries. So I think Josh Jacobs is in a prime position to be winning offensive rookie of the year.
And then who do you think is going to be the overall rookie of the year?
Overall, Daniel Jones. I'm going to go hot take. Daniel Jones is good.
Dan Jones.
I'm hopping on the bandwagon. I hated a little bit on the pick. I thought it was a little too early. I didn't think he was a bad player, just early. But what he showed in the preseason, and obviously, like, come on, it's preseason. You can't get too hyped over that. But I think he showed poise in the pocket. He's not a mobile guy. He's not your Kyler Murray scrambling or anything like that. But he can run he commands the. You can see he commands the locker, not the locker, but the huddle.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that he's a good player.
Yeah, he's very similar to Eli.
Yeah, which is good. Which is good. The
type,
transition wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, because I think Eli's handling this mentor situation very nicely.
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah.
He's a very class act.
Yeah. He's doing a lot better than Roethlisberger did last year, where you saying that with Mason Rudolph, kind of said like, that's not my job. I like Eli's he knows that his time is almost over, and he's just trying to hope that New York is gonna be good without him.
He's like his brother in that aspect.
Yeah.
I'd say,
Peyton with Osweiler, we're gonna hope that Daniel Jones turns out a little better than Osweiler did.
I liked Osweiler. I think he made a bad decision when he went to
Houston.
Texas.
He went for the money. Yeah, he just went for the money.
If he stayed in Denver, I think he would have been a lot
He
more
wanted the money.
successful.
Yeah, you can't blame him for securing the
He was
bag.
up there with Jimmy Garoppolo, same draft class, same round, and they were both getting compared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't. Yeah, he's a big tall quarterback, which is like a lot of teams like that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this isn't.
So who's your guy? You haven't said.
Oh yeah.
Who's your offensive rookie? Who's your overall?
Kyler.
For offensive or overall?
For both.
Yeah, I just don't see that happen. I don't know. I'm not on the... And I already said this multiple times. I don't think preseason is a definition of anything, but I didn't like Kyler Murray kind of going in, his size and everything. And I don't like Cliff Kingsbury. I thought he was given the coaching opportunity a little too early. I don't think he showed enough. And the team just isn't really, built very well for their offensive line is not good. Yeah. And yeah, Kyler Murray's going to be running around a lot.
I see what you're talking about, but we've discussed this before. During the draft when he was drafted, when Kingsbury was hired. I'm a big fan of the Kingsbury offense. It's very air raid. It's very dice him up offense. Then I'm a big fan of Kyler Murray too, because he's the shorter guy, I think he does have that
chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, chip on his shoulder. Baker Mayfield type of guy, not as vocal, but definitely
you don't get that
skilled, and he has a cannon of an arm.
That is true.
That's very underrated.
But you don't get that, from Baker Mayfield. You could see that the guy's riled up. Like, people wanted him to fail, like Colin Cowherd. You heard it. Like he didn't want him. He didn't want him to succeed. But that's because he's so vocal. He's such a big personality. And Kyler Murray just isn't that. Like, you don't really see a lot of quarterbacks who are just timid like that be that successful. Like Tom Brady, he's a vocal guy.
Tom Brady's kind of timid.
Yeah, have you seen him on the sideline? On the sideline, he's yelling at guys, trying to get him to communicate with everybody what the game plan is. I just don't know how Kyler Murray. I think first couple games, he's gonna be a little phased. He's gonna be a little scared with all the fans there, the loud stadium. It's gonna be different. I know Oklahoma's a big program, but I think it's gonna be he's gonna have a welcome to the NFL type moment, and he just needs to. If he can learn, then I think he'll be successful. But I just don't think that this year he'll be that good.
I see your point, but I'm gonna stick with my gut.
No, you're right. But yeah, the pick that I made, Daniel Jones, he might not even start this year. So Kyler Murray at least has that over him. He probably have better stats.
No, but I like Daniel too.
I do like him. Yeah, I thought I liked the story. And if you're really talking about chip on your shoulder,
he does have.
Yeah, he's Kristaps Porzingis. That's exactly the same thing happened there. He was booed at the draft. Yeah. And
then came out to be a great player.
Yeah. I hope he does good, and I hope he stays in New York. New York has been struggling for good players.
Yeah, they made the playoffs a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I was rooting for them that year. I thought
they were doing. Yeah.
I thought they could slay the Patriots, but Nick Foles did instead. Yeah, I think this isn't an award in the NFL. At least I don't think so. It's an NBA award, Most Improved Player. Mm-hmm. Who do you think that's going to be?
I think Most Improved is kind of very similar to Comeback Player.
No, Comeback's like when you have
a bad story. I guess you're right. That is true. Most Improved, I don't know, a guy who I think will step
makes
up.
the leap.
Johnson. Johnson.
Yeah.
I think the Lions' offense is going to be built around the run game, not the pass game. And Matt Stafford's also kind of, he's good in the clutch situations, but he's not your, I guess, if you think about top 10 quarterbacks, I don't think Matt Stafford's going to be on that list.
Yeah, I don't think so
And
either.
the defense is good. I like the Detroit Lions defense. They're not bad. Their pass rush is not bad, especially with Mike Daniels from the Packers coming over. So I think there's opportunity for Johnson to have a good year. Especially he's been working on his catching. That's what rumors has it. So he could be good in the air or in the ground.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely
so what do you think?
Very possible. Thinking Sammy Watkins. on the Chiefs.
Hey man, with Mahomes' arm, yeah, anybody.
Yeah, no, Mahomes. Many people call me Mahomes hater.
You are, yeah, you're a Mahomes
I'm
hater.
not you being the biggest culprit. But
You said Jared Goff was better than Mahomes. Let's just let me put that on air. That you said Jared Goff was better than Patrick Mahomes.
I still stand by that argument.
You're crazy, man. You're good.
So, but like Mahomes is a very talented player, though.
He is.
And Andy Reid's a great coach, which makes Mahomes look better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, I think with Damian Williams not being as good as people are saying he will be, in my opinion, and Tyreek
With LaShawn McCoy joining, yeah.
Tyreek Hill having all that extra attention, Travis Kelce doing Travis Kelce, I think Sammy Watkins would be their guy.
He could be, yeah. But they also got to think about Mecole Hardman. I think what surprised me really is that Mecole Hardman is his comparison is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. So,
And
I don't think
that means
Tyreek Hill's on the field at the same time. I think he spells Tyreek Hill like when Tyreek Hill's like a bit
that is true. I think
tired. That's when they play Mecole.
Well, I think they drafted him for two reasons. I think he's a security for Tyreek Hill, but I think also it kind of shows that I think they're content with the guys that they have as their big kind of a big body receiver, which is what Sammy Watkins really is essentially on the team. Him and Travis Kelce are the two big buddy guys who are going to, or at least on the starting lineup.
Yeah.
So it shows that they have confidence in Sammy Watkins because they could have drafted a bigger guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
They could have drafted. Now Debo was gone by then.
AJ Brown I think was gone too.
AJ Brown.
But DK Metcalf, but he was still there.
DK.
But exactly. But if you wanted a bigger guy, you definitely could have gotten one.
Mm-hmm.
But it just shows that they have confidence in Sammy Watkins, and they traded for him, I believe, right?
Yeah. No, I think he free.
Either free agent, but they signed him for a reason. They wanted him on the team for a reason, and I don't think it's just to be a compliment to Tyreek Hill. I think he has a talent. Obviously, we've seen in Buffalo to be a primary guy.
Yep.
Okay.
MVP now.
MVP. You know I like Saquon, and that's how I'm gonna go with Saquon Barkley. I think it's just the best story. It's the biggest spotlight, best story. He's on Broadway. He's gonna be hurdling guys, gonna get the box stacked, jumping over 3 guys at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I think Saquon's gonna have a good year. Potentially, might have 2,000 yards.
I'm gonna say Jared Goff.
Man, get out of here.
Okay, I don't.
He's
like
got the new
Rams.
contract.
I don't like the Rams. I don't like McVay.
Okay.
I'm a big 49ers guy.
That is true, yeah.
I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I was gonna say him.
All facts.
I was gonna say Jimmy.
But we're being realistic here, yeah.
No, that is definitely.
He's a sleeper. I'll be with you. He's a sleeper.
But okay, just because I've said Jimmy and like DeForest already, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Jared Goff because he just got that big money contract. Second most guaranteed money or most
guaranteed money. He
most
beat a win.
guaranteed money, in the NFL. I think he has a point to prove. Many people are saying Todd Gurley was the life of that offense. Todd Gurley might not play some games. I think they gave him a rest, maybe.
I don't know, man.
Or he might not be as good. That's just speculation.
Okay.
But then it's going to be a real test for Jared Goff. And if he keeps that Rams offense ticking and rolling, I think he could definitely be in the conversation.
Well, yeah,
he just has to have those mental lapses not happen. Because
that is true.
Last year he was in the thick of the MVP race, in my opinion. He was going step for step with Mahomes until that Chiefs-Rams game. I think that's where they separated themselves.
I think Mahomes is just a better athlete overall, and he can do a lot more things. I think Jared Goff's a system guy, but you know Sean McVay. Right now you can argue. I know you don't like Sean McVay, and I don't like the Rams. I don't like the Rams winning, but I like the Rams team altogether. You have to respect them. They're a good team. They're a good offensive team. You just kind of fell apart in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But if the McVay offense is what it was last year, then Jared Goff he'll have numbers. I just don't know about MVP numbers.
I think he will be pissed off. I think Jared Goff's the type of guy that just keeps improving.
Jared Goff's a chill type of guy. He's a surfer, California boy.
But I think he keeps improving.
Could be,
year, second year he's a lot better. Third year he's even better.
That is true.
Fourth year he's going to be a game changer.
Yeah.
Okay, Coach of the Year. You know who I'm going to say it is.
Shanny.
Yes, Shanny. Do you agree? I think the team makes the biggest leap.
I told you, okay, I think Coach of the Year always happens. It's always about the team. You got to make the playoffs first off. You don't get Coach of the Year if you don't make the playoffs.
I think it's the biggest leap.
That's not always
biggest
true.
Turnaround.
Okay, you go from a 0-16 to 6-10. That's a turnaround. Just
okay, more like 5-12 to 10-6.
I think if the Niners make the playoffs, there's a chance that and the Shanahan's putting up yards. Jimmy Garoppolo's playing good. Then I think there's definitely the argument to be made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Shanahan definitely. Do you agree?
I'm gonna go. Well, I just to be different. I don't know, just not to say the same thing. I'm gonna go with Matt LaFleur. I know I was kind of being devil's advocate and questioning like what's gonna happen, but Aaron Rodgers is there. That you're always gonna get a good passing game, and I like Aaron Jones a lot. I like Aaron Jones.
The two Aarons.
Yeah, exactly.
Aarons.
Yeah. Adams, Aaron, and Aaron. The 3 A's. No 3 B's in Pittsburgh.
Triple A.
Yeah, triple. Exactly. We're gonna have AAA coverage, and I think Matt LaFleur is gonna take that. Take that to the bank.
If anybody starts using that nickname, we coined it up top. Okay.
I know, but do you see that? I don't know. What do you think?
I can see that. Yeah, I can definitely see
Yeah.
that. Some people are definitely skeptical about it, but I'm not.
I'm more skeptical about Zach Taylor than I am about
Zach
LaFleur.
Taylor, no, he's a bust.
I know.
Sorry, Zach, but
Zach Taylor and Cliff Kingsbury were the two guys I was really questioning about. But I really like Denver picking up Vic Fangio. That's an against the grain type move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Super Bowl matchups, MVPs.
To be honest, okay, if last year I could have predicted Rams and Patriots. I was saying Rams are gonna make the Super Bowl, and Patriots are kind of always they're gonna you're always safe betting on them. But in the year before, Eagles was not a team I would have bet for. So it's always kind of there's always a sleeper team that comes out, and I know you're probably gonna say 49ers. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. So that's where I'll start up your argument right there. There's always gonna be a sleeper team, and Niners could be that sleeper team, but I don't know. I think Philadelphia. I think they're gonna come back and get a second one.
Yeah. Okay. Personally, I think that this year the league is a lot more wide open than it was last year. There are a lot of teams that can make the playoffs, make the run.
Yeah.
Just look at every division. You got Seattle.
But that's just how it is with
you
the
got
NFL.
Seattle, LA, 49ers in this one. And you got all four in NFC North.
Okay, but let's agree. The 49ers have to make a wild card. I don't think the 49ers are better than the Rams.
No, okay. I'm saying that if one of these teams sneaks in.
Yeah.
And 49ers can be hot, as we've seen with Jimmy Garoppolo that year.
For sure.
So if they sneak in and Jimmy Garoppolo just week 17 finds his rhythm, he goes hot, the team's hot, the defense is hot.
Yeah.
They can make the run.
We saw that's what happened with Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We saw that, yeah.
Anything
even with Wentz down, yeah.
With Nick Foles getting hot week 17, then after the playoffs, riding that momentum.
I obviously it would be a Cinderella story type of thing for
Not
the 49ers.
Cinderella, but
No, come on. The 49ers franchise has been they've been in the slumps for a while now.
Yeah.
We've been let's say the last 3-4 years we've been the Cleveland Browns type of lower team. We've picked
People say teams have highs and lows. We only had lows.
Yeah, we had pick number 2, then pick number 10, and then pick number 2 again. So obviously the Niners haven't been they haven't been good in a while, but they could turn around. They could.
Yeah.
A lot of things have to go right for them. The schedule, I think early it's not that bad, but I think towards the end, especially get Rams and Falcons towards the end. That's 15 and 16.
Baltimore, New Orleans.
Yeah, these are all hard.
LA.
These are all hard teams. Yeah.
And Seattle to finish it off.
Yeah, these are all going to be hard teams. I think Seattle is probably the easier one of the two because I think their offense is not that good as they're going to as they were before. Their offensive line is obviously awful, but that's how it is always. But I think teams are going to figure out how to stop Chris Carson. But Philadelphia is the team that I'm saying because I think they got the chip on their shoulder again. That's what they had 2 years ago. They got it again. And then they saw the Rams how they couldn't execute, but I think they're gonna take some of the Rams offense, maybe execute some of their play action type, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan type stuff. Put that into their playbook. They gotta modernize a little bit because
The Patriots
Doug Peterson.
There.
Yeah, Patriots are always that's why they're always winning. It's because they know how to change their offense and they modernize, and I think that's
game planned really.
Yeah,
well.
exactly, and I think that's what the Eagles were missing last year. So if Doug Peterson can get his shit together, then we could be I think I could see that the Eagles definitely have talent. The defense is stacked. They have an amazing defense. Carson Wentz gonna be healthy, so yeah.
Okay. Now one of our biggest themes in this podcast has been Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little about Hard Knocks because season finale just happened yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
And a lot of the surprising moves included Keelan Doss, one of my personal favorites out of the series, getting cut.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to get cut.
Yeah, he was the guy, man, you see Gruden all the time hugging him and saying that, that he's the receiver that he loves. And him and Hunter Renfrow, they were like, oh, guys are calling me about you. And then just to see him, I don't know, just to see Keelan Doss get cut. Yeah, but I wish him well in Jacksonville. I hope he does good over there.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah.
He catches a lot, I think.
I think this year Hard Knocks kind of they declined.
Underwhelmed.
No, it started off good. I really liked the first 2 episodes, and then it started decline. And I didn't like this. Last year with the Browns, they had John Dorsey, big personality, and then they were kind of like they'd go into the office and they show you the guys getting cut and the emotions, and they didn't really show you that. And maybe because Mike Mayock is in this, he's not John Dorsey.
He's not.
He's obviously exactly. He's obviously.
Nice guy.
But that's where Gruden is that type of guy. I don't know. At least to hear maybe Gruden's opinion on why he cut some of the guys. Or see something like that. I don't know.
That would have been nice.
It just left you kind of overwhelmed or underwhelmed
Yeah.
of why did this happen? Like why did Keelan Doss get cut? Why did Luke Wilson get cut?
I think they were good on the tight ends personally.
I don't know. Darren Waller, is he really that much better than Luke Wilson? Luke Wilson has proven in Seattle he wasn't bad.
Yeah, I really hated when that linebacker got cut.
What's his name? With his mother.
Yeah, I really liked his mom. She was.
What's his name? Oh man.
Let's see. Hard Knocks.
Yeah, but he got picked up by Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said. Komoda or something, right? Something with a C.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. But
yeah.
I think you guys know who we're talking about.
Number 53.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's his number. Yeah, Brandon Marshall was another guy who, and he kind of you kind of knew that by the episode that even Brandon Marshall himself knew that he would get cut, and it's because of his injuries and he's getting older. The team is moving in a new young direction.
I think that's a smart move by the Raiders. And
I feel bad. I like Brandon Marshall. He was good at the year Denver won.
All right, Hard Knocks was pretty tough in my opinion, but I think
it's always going to be like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there will be other storylines throughout the season. Pop back down.
Obviously, yeah.
So I think, yeah.
That's what the NFL is all about. That's why we love this game. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be all for this episode.
Yeah, we wish you luck. I hope your team wins. Unless
you're a Bucs fan.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Yeah. Maybe this one will take this one off next week. You guys can win.
For next week, sorry, Cincy fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Thanks, guys, for listening. If you have any ideas or anything you want us to cover,
tweet at us, DM us.
Yeah. And yeah, I think
that's pretty much it. Yeah. All right, guys. Peace.